Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Gold with only one Drowsy was a fun solo run. Let's follow that up with a team run. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Sapphire with a team of only version exclusives. You already know the drill on these version exclusive runs. We're only using Pokemon that are in Sapphire but not in Ruby. We've already done the Ruby one, so let's find out how much easier or harder the Sapphire run is. It looks like for exclusives we get Lotad, Sableye, Seviper, Lunatone, and Kyogre. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I figure that is going to be a lot easier than the Ruby exclusive challenge. These Pokemon all rock, and I'm sure we can win at a much lower level than in Ruby. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use version exclusives. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. No need for the randomizer this time. Last time I used it to start with Zigzagoon, because team runs are a lot more interesting if you have more than one Pokemon at the start of the game, so that we can keep our levels lower and use more move variety. But on this one, we get two pretty interesting Pokemon so early that there isn't really much of a point. So I just go ahead and catch Lotad. Ours is Rash, so more special attack and less special defense. Now, Lotad is terrible at the start, but once we get it to level 7, then it'll learn Absorb. It's still weak, but it's a move that would let us stand a chance against Roxanne eventually. I'm gonna have to grind for sure, since it's not like Lotad can take out all the trainers on its own at this low of a level, but that's okay. I needed to get to level 14 so that it can evolve and learn Nature Power. I'm also gonna pick up the TM for Bullet Seed. This is before the move was any good, but I'll take what I can get early on. I don't know if I'll actually end up learning it, but there's no harm in grabbing it on my way. I'll go level up to at least 14, and then try the Rock Gym. So we got to the Rock Gym at level 16, and although Geodude wasn't a one-shot, she just missed a Rock Tomb, then wasted a potion, so we took her out. Nosepass was taking a lot less damage, so we took a lot more hits, but Absorb was giving us health back, so we ended up taking it down with a decent amount of health left. We probably would have lost if we were a lower level, just thanks to having weak attacks. Next up is the Fighting Gym, but I'm feeling pretty great about it because we get to catch a Sableye first. Now this thing is really cool because it's Ghost and Dark, so it's got no type weakness in this game. Ours is quirky, so neutral stat gains. It doesn't have the best moveset right now, but it gets some good stuff later like Shadow Ball. Between having no type weakness, pretty good moves, and decent overall stats, it's probably going to be one of our best Pokemon the whole game. For sure better than Mawile was in the Ruby run. I'll grind it up just a little bit and then get to the Fighting Gym. Well, the Fighting Gym was super easy. I kinda thought that they'd have Foresight or something like that, but I guess they don't. Machop couldn't hit Sableye, so I just kept using Nightshade and he kept using Super Potions until eventually he went down. And Makahita only had Knockoff, and that uses Special Attack in this game, so he was doing basically nothing. It's kind of insane that right outside the Fighting Gym is a Pokemon that they can do basically nothing to stop, but only in Sapphire. In Ruby, it's a Mawile in the cave, and that just gets destroyed in one Karate Chop. Hey, it's finally time for a little travel footage. So we don't get our next Pokemon until after the next gym, but we have a rival fight in the way, so I'm not sure how it's gonna go. On one hand, the rival is often an afterthought in this game, but then again, anytime there actually is a hard rival fight in this game, it's this upcoming one. I'm more worried about the Electric Gym after that, but we'll see how it goes after we get to the rival fight. Alright, so first up is Wailmer, but it was using the genius tactic of splashing 4 times in a row, so despite us not doing much damage with Scratch, we never really took any damage. I can only assume she didn't have any water moves or something, which is weird if true. Next up is Numel, who was actually hitting us with Ember, but it wasn't that strong either, so we still had half of our health left when we took it out. Last is Grovyle, but his Pursuit was actually doing good damage, so although we took it to half health, we went down. I sent in Lombre to spam Nature Power to use Swift after, of course opening with Fake Out, and that worked pretty great. He was healing up by using Absorb on us, but we ended up winning while still in yellow health. It was close, but it was a win. Alright, so the Electric Gym is next, and this is always a nightmare. You could argue that in Ruby and Sapphire it's easier than in Emerald, and that's mostly true, but this version's Watson has more Steel types, and that could be its own problem. I taught Rock Smash to Sableye, but we're not exactly great with it. Plus, he has Thunder Wave, so chances are no matter who we use, we're getting paralyzed right away. all I can do is really clear out every trainer in the area for levels and then give it a try. Let's see how it goes. Right away, we fake out the Magnemite and start spamming Rock Smash to get defense drops, but as we expected, we got paralyzed early. We also got confused, but we lucked out and took it out before we could hit ourselves. Voltorb was next, so I sent in Lombre to fake out and Swift. Sonic Boom and Spark messed us up and even paralyzed us before he self-destructed to take us both out. Last is Magneton, but we really weren't doing much damage and his shockwaves hurt us quite a bit. A critical hit got us closer to taking him out, but he just used a super potion to heal back up. I for sure need to get stronger. That means I'm grinding right here in this patch of grass west of the gym. I can't even tell you how many hours of my life I have spent grinding in this patch of grass. It's an awful spot to grind because we get paralyzed a lot, but there isn't really a better alternative. We're out of trainers, and I'd get paralyzed even more if I grinded in the south. I'm not really grinding Lombre since there isn't much it can do in the fight anyway, so I'm just focusing hard on Sableye. I wish I could get some more Pokemon to help deal with this, but the next two that we catch are actually just past this gym, so it's a no-go. I'm gonna have to try and get Sableye to the early level 30s and then see what happens. Well, sometimes the gym goes slightly better than before, but even at level 33, it's pretty much a disaster. We don't do much damage at all, and getting paralyzed still pretty much just dooms us. Maybe if we could get to level 37 and learn Confuse Ray, then we could do better, but that's just adding luck to the fight. I'm just holding out hope that I won't need to hit level 41 and use Shadow Ball, because that's a crazy long grind. I'm even using a Macho Brace while I grind to try and get effort values faster. So I grinded all the way to 37 and learned Confuse Ray, then try it again. On this try, we got lucky right away, critting a Fake Out so that we could take out Magnemite without getting hit. I was hoping we'd get through Voltorb alright with Lombre since it was looking alright at first, but we ended up just going down to self-destruct anyway. Last was Magneton, so I hit a Fake Out, then confused it with Confuse Ray, and it hit itself for just a bit of damage. We hit a Rock Smash and a defense drop, but quickly he paralyzed us, then shook off Confusion and hit us for a bit more than a fifth of our health and damage. It didn't matter though, that defense drop got us a win. Finally. Hey, it's time to get the last of our non-legendary Pokemon. First is Seviper. I love this Pokemon, but I never really get to use it. Crazy high attack and special attack, weirdly enough. It's just an awesome poison type. It doesn't have the strongest moves, but I can get it Sludge Bomb later on, so that's gonna help a lot. Our nature is serious, so neutral stat gains, perfectly fine with me. Shed Skin's a pretty nice ability too. We already can't get poisoned, so I think it just helps us with burns and paralysis. Although, now that I think about it, I've never had a Pokemon with Shed Skin get frozen. So I'm not really sure if it helps with that, but maybe. I don't think it helps with sleep, but I very much could be wrong about that. Ooh, you know what? I kind of feel like I've seen something shed its skin when I put it to sleep. Yeah, Shed Skin probably works with sleep now that I think about it. After that, I catch a Lunatone. I like this one a lot more than Solrock. Solrock is the physical attacker and Lunatone is the special one, but since rock moves kinda suck in this game, and Psychic is still great, Lunatone really is the overall more useful one. Our nature is Rash, so more special attack and less special defense. You know what? That works for me. Now let's level them up a bit. We have an Archie fight to win. First up is Archie's Mightyena, so our attack is down to Intimidate. It hardly hurts though. Fake Out and Feint Attack did a great job of taking it out in just a few hits. Next is Golbat. I didn't have any great answer for it, so I confused it as it hit itself, then hit Feint Attack to nearly take it out. She healed with a Super Potion twice, but we were hitting pretty hard thanks to Feint Attack not being physical, so we took him down fast. Last is Sharpedo, so we just used Lombre with Absorb. We did alright damage, but actually ended up fainting, so I had to send Sableye back in to finish it off. Easy fight though. Next is the Fire Gym, and right away Slugma started a sunny day while we took it out with a couple of hits of Poison Tail. A second Slugma was next and hit a super strong Flamethrower before we two-shot it as well, so Seviper had really low health now. Last is Torkoal, so I have Lombre flinch it with Fake Out to waste time, letting Sunny Day run out. Thanks to that, Overheat wasn't a one-shot. We still hardly did any damage and went down right after, but at least Torkoal lost special attack to Overheat. Seviper hit a Poison Tail before going down, then next was Lunatone with Rock Throw. I did a bit of damage, but really, I'm just trying to get Torkoal to use Overheat more. Instead, it body slammed us to paralyze us fast, then it used a hyper potion as her health got low. I kept using confusion as it kept using body slams, and we ended up fainting just due to losing tons of turns to paralysis. Last was our Sableye, who hit Feint Attack to bring her to a sliver. She hit Attract, then she used a hyper potion to heal back up. Thankfully, we never lost attack to Attract, so we just finished her off quickly after. Man, I'm happy that Sableye is so good. We're so close to finally getting some new moves. We've got the normal gym in the way, but after that, we can get some new stuff. I'm feeling pretty confident that the normal gym will go fine, especially since we have a ghost type as our most leveled up Pokemon right now. That said, things will probably get pretty hard after that. We have no great answer to steel types, so the flying gym could be a problem. Let's just go do the normal gym first. But on our way there, I took the root fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Right away, I flinched the first slacking, then confused it with Confuse Ray while it was loafing around. Rock Smash dropped its defense, but it yawned right away, so I just switched to Seviper to try and poison him. I probably should have just used Screech, but it's alright. He hit himself and our Poison Tail was doing alright damage. He used a Hyper Potion though, so we couldn't take him out right away. I kept using Poison Tail, and thankfully it crit thanks to its high crit chance. Between that, poisoning him, and his confusion, he went down. Next is Vigoroth, so I sent Sableye back in to fake out and confuse him too. We were able to drop his defense with Rock Smash, and he was hardly hurting us with Feint Attack, but he used a Hyper Potion again when we were about to take him out. It's alright, he still went down super quickly. Last was another slacking, so I just kept confusing him and hitting Rock Smashes to drop his defense. It took a while and we nearly fainted, but eventually he went down when we only had 7 health left. It's alright. I think the rest of our team could have finished him off even if we went down. It's time to finally get some new moves. We can get our hands on Surf, Ice Beam, and Sludge Bomb now. Now, I wish we could get a Water Stone too so that we could evolve Lombre into Ludicolo, but unfortunately, we need to dive before we can get it, so it won't be until after the Psychic Gym. Still, Sludge Bomb on Seviper is for sure gonna hit hard, and Ice Beam is gonna help us a lot in both the Flying Gym and for sure when we fight Drake near the end of the game. We've got a rival fight and a Flying Gym up next though, so let's go take them out. I'm sure the rival will be easy, but the Flying Gym won't. Most of her team might be simple, but Skarmory is usually pretty brutal if you don't have anything good against it. And we don't. Well, as expected, our rival was super easy. I guess our Wailmer did a bit more damage than I was expecting, but that's just because I was fighting her mostly with very weak members of the team to try and get some experience on them. I really don't think we're ready for the Flying Gym though. Now, this took tons of tries to figure out the order of what Pokemon to use when. Right away though, Swella goes down in 1 Ice Beam from Lunatone, so that's an obvious start. Out to Sableye for Pelipper, and it protected against Fake Out, but our Feint Attack does awesome damage. We got confused and hit ourselves, and also got hit by Water Gun though, so we took some damage before taking it out. That got us to learn Shadow Ball though, so that's pretty nice. Third is the real threat though, Skarmory. I sent in Lombre to spam Surf. We only got 1 in thanks to Aerial Ace taking us out fast. Seviper was next, and all we could do was use Crunch since Poison won't work, but she wasted a turn with Sand Attack, so that helped. We actually nailed a critical Crunch that dropped her special defense, but she healed back up, so we had to keep crunching. After that, we missed a Crunch twice in a row. That's really not good. We fainted soon after. Out to Sableye, and with no good moves, I just used Fake Out and Confuse Ray. The thing is, Skarmory doesn't have great attack, but has awesome defense, so even when she hits herself, it doesn't do much damage. Shadow Ball didn't do much either, and we took her to a sliver of health, but then she used another Hyper Potion after critting us. Thankfully, our last Shadow Ball dropped her special defense before we got taken out, so as we finally sent in Lunatone, it was able to do tons of damage with Ice Beam to take her out. If it wasn't for getting 2 special defense drops, that would not have worked. Last was Altaria, but it wasted time with Dragon Dance, and we just one-shot it with Ice Beam. That took a ton of tries, but I'm happy that I didn't have to grind like crazy. Alright, it's time to work our way to the always difficult Psychic Gym. Even in Ruby and Sapphire, this is often hard, but I'm holding out some hope. We have Surf now, and we can get our hands on Giga Drain, so we've got some super effective moves alongside, you know, Shadow Ball of course. But honestly, Lombre is really falling behind in levels. Sableye's probably going to do good damage, but I can't rule out it being a nightmare fight just because of how often it is. I figure I might need to really grind up some of the lower level members of the team, and there aren't really any good grinding spots around here, but that's alright. I'm sure that we can make it work. I will work on making a shell bell though. You have to visit a cave like 5 hours apart at 2 different points. It's not amazing, but it saved us before, so there's no harm in making one. I don't know if I will fully make one, because, you know, I'm gonna go there, collect some stuff, and then come try the fight, but we'll see. There's no harm in going there. Hey, it actually ended up being pretty easy for once. Shadow Ball, which we just learned, was doing awesome damage. We made Soul Rock sleep right away, and all Lunatone did before going down was set up a light screen. We took out the whole team like it was nothing thanks to Shadow Ball being physical in this game. What a nice change of pace from how the Psychic Gym normally goes. Hey, we're in the last bit of travel then, and we can get our last few great TMs. Earthquake and Brick Break. Not only that, but we can get the Water Stone to evolve Ludicolo now that we can dive. That's going to help a lot because Ludicolo is a pretty solid Pokemon. I'll grab that soon though. We have an Archie fight I want to do first. Right away, we crit a Fake Out against Mightyena, confuse him, and got him to hit himself. He healed back up with a Super Potion as I started laying in Rock Smashes, but they were doing just about nothing. We quickly lost speed to Scary Face, so we became slower. He missed a Swagger, and we dropped his defense with Rock Smash, but then he hit Swagger the second time, and we hit ourselves. He dropped our speed more for no reason, as we finally hit a Shadow Ball to take him to a Sliver. He used Scary Face one last time, we hit ourselves again, but then we snapped out of it and took him out. Out to Lunatone to fight Crobat, and we took big damage off Bite and flinched right away. He then confused us, but we hit Psychic to nearly one-shot him. He healed with a Super Potion, but it didn't help much, so we just hit Psychic again to take him out. I tried sending in Lombre as Sharpedo came out, but it had low health from the rest of the place that we were in, and we obviously were slower, so we just went down to 1 slash. Out to Seviper, and we took huge damage right away, hit a big Sludge Bomb, went down to another slash, then finished him off with an Ice Beam from Lunatone for the win. We finally got our chance to catch our last Pokemon, the legendary Kyogre. This is way better than Groudon. Now, despite Groudon being the red fiery thing that lives in lava and has the ability that makes Sunny Day start whenever he shows up, Groudon is not even part fire type, just ground. Hence the name, I guess, even though it has fire moves, and is red, and lives in lava, and is the counterpoint to the water type legendary. Why is it not part fire? Kyogre, on the other hand, is the blue watery fish thing that makes it rain when it shows up and actually is water type. Between its amazing stats, making it rain, and actually being a water type, this is a way more powerful legendary. I'm not really planning on using it as my main, but I get the feeling that it'll do a great job of powering through when the rest of our team is failing. I think I'm gonna have to replace Hydro Pump with Surf. It's just a lot more reliable. Our nature is timid for less attack and more speed, which is fine with me. Now let's go do the Water Gym and the Wally fight. First with the Water Gym, Love Disc was faster than Seviper and hit us pretty hard with a couple of Water Pulses before we took it out with Sludge Bomb. Out to Ludicolo as Whiscash came out, and right away he used Amnesia, so our Giga Drain didn't do a ton. He made it rain on the second turn as we hit it again, but the rain actually sped up Ludicolo, so we went first on the last round to take him out, despite the huge level difference. That was awesome. I can't believe our ability came in handy in such a weird way. Out to Sableye as Celio came out, and we flinched it with a Fake Out, then dropped its special defense with a Shadow Ball. We took pretty big damage off of Water Pulse, dropped into red health, got dropped into red health ourselves, but then he used a Hyper Potion to fully heal back up as the rain stopped. We did a bit more damage and confused him, but he just hit an Aurora Beam to finish us off. We had to send in Lunatone next to take it out with Psychic, probably because of the special defense drop earlier. Seeking is next, and we hit Psychic for half its health and damage as it made it rain, but then Seeking went first and crit us with a one-shot with Water Pulse. I sent Ludicolo back in just to take very little damage from Water Pulse and hit a Giga Drain. He healed, but I figured that he must only have water moves if he's doing that despite us being quad resistant against it. He actually started using Horn Drill as we used Surf, but right when we were about to finish it off, it actually hit one of the Horn Drills. We had to send in Kyogre to finish it off with Body Slam, after hardly hurting us at all with Water Pulse. Last is Melodic, so I sent in Seviper to try and poison it with Sludge Bomb, but we got outsped and taken out by Water Pulse. Kyogre is our last Pokemon, and of course we had no type advantage, but I knew that he could hardly hurt us anyway. So I just started spamming Calm Mind over and over and over. We got confused off a Water Pulse and hit ourselves a little bit, but after tons of Calm Minds, we just hit Surf to one-shot him. That was a really long fight, by the way. Last is Wally, and Altaria used Dragon Dance right away, so we just hit Ice Beam with Lunatone to one-shot it. Roselia's next, and it was just a one-shot with Psychic, so right after was Delcatty, and it held on, and it was able to use Sing to send us to sleep and heal back up a bit. Then she lucked out with Assist and got a Giga Drain, a super effective move. We woke up fast and hit Psychic, but because of Giga Drain, she didn't faint. She used Assist again and let off a Future Sight, and then we took her down. Out to Seviper to Earthquake Magneton for a one-shot, and last was Gardevoir, who we easily used Shadow Ball to take out with Sableye. It took 2 hits, but she wasted a turn healing with a Super Potion, so it was really easy. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our team. I mean, we have some solid Pokemon, but some of them are pretty underleveled. I guess that just goes to show how good these Pokemon are, though. We didn't need many levels to get this far. I could argue that for once we don't have a single dud on our team. I can't see us actually beating the entire run until we at least get the whole team to the mid-level 40s at minimum, but I'm actually very happy with the Pokemon themselves. I'll go grind Seviper and Ludicolo up a little bit, then we can start making tries on the Elite Four. Honestly though, I bet Kyogre could do most of these battles on its own. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Dark Trainer Sidney. First is Mightyena, so I started with Brick Break on Sableye. First, he wasted his turn by using Sand Attack despite our keen eye, but on the second, he hits a huge crunch. We actually were about to take him out when he used a Hyper Potion to heal back up. We took him to Yellow, but he finished us off, so we had to send in Kyogre to start the rain and finish it off with Surf. Out to Seviper to Sludge Bomb the Cacturne as it came out, and we just got a one-shot. The Shift Tree right after was almost a one-shot, but he hit a huge extra sensory to almost take us out before we finished him off. Out to Ludicolo to Giga Drain Sharpedo, and it does a great job with us getting a 2-shot and only losing a little bit less than half of our health in the process. Last is Absol, so I sent Kyogre back in to just overpower it with a single Surf. Not bad. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe. Dusclops confused us right away, but it's okay, we just hit 2 Shadow Balls to take it out. We switched to remove Confusion and sent in Kyogre to overpower Bayonet with a single Surf. Out to Ludicolo as Sableye came out so we could take advantage of the rain. We're a whole 10 levels lower, but thanks to the rain, we were faster and took it out in 2 Surfs. Out to our Sableye to fight Bayonet, and although we got poisoned by Toxic right away, and rocked hard with Shadow Ball, we still took her out in a couple of hits. Last is her final Dusclops, so I just sent Kyogre back in to use Surf. It wasn't a one-shot, but her Shadow Ball wasn't doing a ton, so we just took her out in 2 hits. Third is Ice Trainer Glacia. Right away, Glalie made it hail, and we weren't doing awesome damage with Sableye. She set up a light screen, but we just shattered it with Brick Break right away. She was smart though, and got a huge Ice Beam in before we finished it off. Not great. Out to Ludicolo as Celio came out, we hit a Fake Out and went for Giga Drain, but the damage just wasn't amazing. We got paralyzed off Body Slam right away. I tried Surf, but it wasn't doing much, so it didn't take long before we were in red health. We finished it off with a Giga Drain, but it's really not looking good. I stayed in as the other Celio came out, but this one knew Blizzard, so we just went down. Out to Kyogre to make it rain and use Shockwave. It wasn't actually doing great damage though, and she just replaced the rain with more hail. Now Blizzard never missing during hail wasn't a thing until Gen 4, so she actually missed a Blizzard, but she healed right away when we were about to take her out, so we had to hit another 2 Shockwaves before she actually went down. Next is another Glalie, so I tried sending in Lunatone just to take massive damage off Shadow Ball. We did alright damage with Psychic, but we didn't last long. Back out to Kyogre to make it rain again, and Surf easily finished it off. Last is Walrein, so I sent Seviper in to try and poison it, but we just got one-shot by Blizzard, and sent Kyogre back in to spam Shockwave. It took a few hits, and Body Slams were really hurting us and even paralyzed us, but we held on with only 21 health to get a super narrow victory. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Drake. Now I tried and lost this one quite a few times before I figured out a winning strategy, and that strategy was to just take out Shelgon early with an Ice Beam from Kyogre. I tried building Calm Minds on him a ton in the past, but he never seemed to use Protect when we really needed him to. And if he uses Scary Face and we become too slow, then we can't win this fight. Altaria was a one-shot with Ice Beam, and after that was a Flygon who turns the rain into a sandstorm, but still goes down to an Ice Beam. The second Flygon paralyzed us with Dragon Breath before we could one-shot it, so I was worried. But last is Salamence, who has a strong Dragon Claw, but then got one-shot by Ice Beam. Trust me, that fight was harder than it looks. Kyogre is literally the only member of our team that can handle this fight at all. Nothing else survived nearly as long. Finally, Pokemon Champion Stephen Stone. Right away, he opens with Skarmory, so we opened with a Calm Mind on Kyogre as he missed Toxic. Second turn, we got another Calm Mind in as he used Spikes. That's fine, we got a one-shot with Shockwave. I know that feels like a weird way to open the fight, but I failed this a lot trying to figure out what I needed to do, and 2 Calm Minds is the only way that I could get a one-shot here and elsewhere in the fight. I need it. Aggron right after was a one-shot, and next was Credilli, who often gave us issues, but again, thanks to the 2 Calm Minds, it was also a one-shot. Claydol's next, and I knew it couldn't do a ton to me, so I took the chance to use another Calm Mind as he set up Light Screen. One more Calm Mind as he hit an Earthquake to take out a good third of our health, before we used Surf to totally overpower him and one-shot him. Next is his pseudo-legendary Metagross, and on about 10 attempts before this, we just lost while throwing our whole team at him, but because we have 4 Calm Minds in, he was a one-shot with Surf. Last is Armaldo, but we naturally one-shot him as well. It may look simple, but Kyogre with a ton of Calm Minds was actually our only chance at winning this fight at this low of a level, with no doubt in my mind. I mean, okay, sure, unless we crit every move, but that's not gonna happen. Well, I have to say, Sapphire was much easier than Ruby. Obviously, Kyogre is a way better legendary than Groudon in every way, but honestly, our whole team was better than in Ruby. Maybe Zangoose was a little better than Seviper, but even that's debatable. Ludicolo was way better than Shiftry, Sableye was way better than Gen 3 Mawile, and Lunatone was such a heavy hitter compared to Solrock that it wasn't even close. Sapphire has the better Pokemon by a lot. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, with a secret one. Yeah, I'm not telling you yet. Trust me though, it'll be a fun surprise. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time, so it's September 20th right now when I'm recording this voiceover, and my 32nd birthday is on the 22nd, so by the time you're watching this, it'll already happened. I'm sure that my birthday stream will already be up on the channel. Normally, I do my birthday stream every year on my birthday. I was doing that since I was, I don't know, like 19 or 20 or something, since before Twitch was around, so I don't even know if all the VODs for that are up. Some of them probably don't even have VODs. But I didn't get to do one when I was 31, and I didn't get to do one when I was 30, so I'm really excited to do that birthday stream, and I'm sure I had a fun time with it now that it's up on the channel. Also started streaming Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. I love that game. The original GameCube version, that is. That's the one that I'm streaming. If you go to my playlist section on the channel that you're on right now, and you sort the playlists by newest added, then not only can you see all the stuff that I'm putting up, but you can watch my stuff before it goes public. Sometimes long before it goes public. All kinds of videos, in fact. Sometimes Pokemon challenges go up early that way too. Although mostly they go up early on Twitter. I like to tweet out the link so you can just go find it there. But yeah, that's just a little reward for the people who like to listen to the outros, because so many people skip it. You get to learn in the outros that I put up a bunch of stuff early, and you can just watch it early if you want to. It doesn't help me in the algorithm or anything. In fact, I'm fairly certain that it probably hurts me on some level having them up early like that, but I don't care. It's fun. I like having fun Easter eggs on the channel. I don't know why nobody does that. It's like a fun thing to do. There's whole playlists on the channel of videos that have never been public before, just for you to stumble across one day and enjoy, you know? But yeah, I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Let's Plays and streams and stuff of all kinds of games you could be interested in. You want to watch my first time ever beating Pokemon Platinum? That's on the channel, Pokemon Platinum: A Journey. You want to see my first time ever playing and beating Pokemon X? That's also on the channel, Pokemon X: A Journey. You want to see me beating Pokemon Stadium with my friends? I got a Let's Play Pokemon Stadium. You want to see me 100%ing my favorite game, Deadly Premonition? I did that too. How about Deadly Premonition 2? I played that as well. LA Noir? Did that one. That was super fun. You like Kirby Air Ride? You like City Trial in Kirby Air Ride? We 100%ed that. You like Shadow the Hedgehog? Nah, I didn't think so, but yeah, I played that one too. You ever heard of Nancy Drew Shadow at Water's Edge? I am so proud of how funny that Let's Play is. Go check that one out. Okay, I could genuinely go on forever with this. You ever played Fable? Okay, no. You can go through the playlists if you want to see all the games I've played. I need to get editing this video. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day. Oh, before I forget, do you like World of Warcraft? Okay, do you like old World of Warcraft, back when it was like really fun and stuff and not modern World of Warcraft so much? Yeah, me too. You like private servers of World of Warcraft where they're free and fan run and awesome? They run on even the oldest and worst of computers? Yeah, me too. I started playing Turtle WoW recently. Just Google Turtle WoW, you'll find it. It's all free. We're on the English PvP server. I'm Mah-Dry-Bread with no dashes on Alliance, and I'm MDB on the Horde. Just add me. Say that you found me from the channel or whatever. I'm gonna make a guild even. A guild on both Horde and Alliance so that we can all play together and there can be a community and it can be really fun. Yeah, if you're interested in that, then come in, it's all free. In fact, we have a World of Warcraft chat over on Discord if you ever want to come in and get organized through that. I'm sure people would help you out. And even if you've never played World of Warcraft before, this is honestly a really great way to learn because this is like old vanilla World of Warcraft, but with extra quests added in that feel like they should have been there the whole time. Oh, I've played a lot of private servers before. This is the best private server I've ever played. Such a fun time. Okay, no, for real, I need to go edit this now. Have a nice day.